So whenever you're creating a course, the best way to do it is to actually have a way where people can attend your course as well as become aware of your course on multiple different platforms, and you want them all to go to the same location. Now, when I created this small business owners meetup group, I was actually creating the events on meetup.com, and then I was having other people on other platforms having to come to Meetup to actually sign up for the event. And I realized after one or two meetings that that was probably not the best thing to be doing, because that's causing people to take extra steps. Even though I would like for them to be a part of the group, that way they could be notified of future events. However, I realized that's probably not the best way to move forward. So what I've decided to do differently is to actually go ahead and create my event on one platform, and then essentially share that content and links all on other platforms. And we're going to be going through that today, exactly how that works. So you can actually create start your meeting on any platform. It doesn't really matter which one. I'd like to go with Meetup because this is where the brainchild actually began. However, you can start with any of the platforms. Now, the platforms that I'm going to be doing today are going to be these five different platforms. The first one is going to be on meetup.com. Then we're going to go and create a Facebook event. Then we're going to create a LinkedIn event. Then I'm going to put this on Eventbrite. And then I'm going to also put it on allevents.in. Those are the five different platforms that I'm posting things on. Now, some of you may also like one that's called Alignable. Now, that one, if you're going to be posting events, I'm going to put that in parentheses. That one is if you're going to be posting events, you're going to have to have a paid account. The rest of these are free, or not. No, not really. Meetup, you do pay for, but with Facebook, LinkedIn, Eventbrite, and allevents.in, those are all no charge. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by creating a brand new event. And then let's go ahead and create the brand new event. Now, before we get started in creating the event, and again, I'm going to start on the event on Meetup. One of the first things that you're going to be needing is you're going to be needing a cover image for your event. Now, as we scroll down here, the event that this is on right now, we're on Mastering Virtual Events with Multi-Platform Optimization. I'm going to click on that, and you will see that this event is a 16:9 image. So whenever you're creating your event, you're going to be needing an image. Now, one of the things I know I've talked about before, there are 4 websites that you can use to get royalty-free images. The first one is one that's known as Unsplash. That is my preferred website to go to. The next one is called Pexels. The next one after that is Picabay. And one after that is Free Pick. Let me make sure I'm spelling that one correctly. Yeah, so it is freepick.com. So it's going to be on Free Pick. So those are all royalty-free places that you can get your images. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to be creating an event for our July 25th appointment, or July 18th event, since that's going to be on a Tuesday. The idea that I'm going to be writing on is going to be something known as business credit. So let's go ahead and go to my preferred site. It's called Unsplash. And I'm going to start putting together some images or a cover image for our event. So if I'm going to go to unsplash.com, hit enter. And I'm going to be doing an event that is known as building business credit. So let's go ahead and find an image. Let's say just typing business credit as an example. And essentially, I'm going to be creating an image or a few different types of images. So one of the ones that I'm going to be doing is going to be, let's go ahead and look at this event here. This is the image that y'all saw on for the meetup event. And then I'm also going to create one that's going to have that's going to have information. So let's click on this one first. So that was the image that I downloaded for Unsplash that I'm using on meetup.com. On all the other 4 platforms, I'm actually going to be creating an image like this. It gives the time, it gives the name of the workshop, and it gives the Zoom link. And then I may even create a third image. It's going to look like this. And this is if I'm decided I'm going to make this into a paid program that's outside of the classroom. I have this one as well. So we're going to create all 3 of these at first. So let's go ahead and go to Unsplash. And I'm going to go ahead and go back out. And we're going to be building everything inside here. So I'm going to close this one down, and I'm going back to Unsplash. Now with Unsplash, let's say I'm looking for something that could look like you're building business credit. Let's say I'm going to go with this image right here. Now, because the image is going to be in a rectangular format, I'm trying to stay away from images that are going to be in the vertical format, because when you move them over to be into like this image here, it would not look well when you try to convert it into a rectangular image. So on Unsplash, all you have to do is click on the image and then click the download button. You will see that it's downloading right here. And I'm going to minimize this so we can have a little bit of room to work with. And I'm going to move it to my back window. I'm going to delete this one because I don't need that one right now. So there is the image I'm going to be working with, but that may not be a 16:9 format. So to make that a quick change, I'm going to go to a website known as Canva. Canva is a free website where you can create all kinds of designs. And I know if you see any of our other programs, you will see that I use this all the time. So to create a design, just go up here where the purple button that says create a design, click on it. And if presentation 16:9 does not show up, go ahead and type in presentation. And then go with the one that says 16:9. That's the rectangular presentation that you're going to be doing. It's also the same size as your screen on your laptop. Now, this is actually a fairly simple thing to be doing. I'm going to go ahead and move the image from my background over to Canva. And then you see we've got the white space there. I want to fill that white space. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch this by zooming in. And then by stretching this so it looks like it's zooming in. I want to get a little bit more of his head on here. And now we have that image. So at this point, I'm going to hit the share button. Go down a little bit below the copy link. You'll see the one that says download. So you want to go and hit the download button. It usually suggests that you're going to be doing a PDF. I would say do not do that because you want it to be an image, and go with either JPEG or PNG. Right now, let's just keep it simple and go with JPEG. And then hit the download button, the purple download button. You'll get a status bar going across. And now that it shows up there, I'm going to go back to my desktop and delete that first image so I don't get them confused. And I'm going to pull that image over. So now we have our image that we're going to be using in our program. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, if you recall, I'm going to move this one over into that folder. If we recall, when we were putting things together, we have the regular image. We have the image where the image is up in the upper left-hand corner, and we've got one that has a cover title on it. I'm going to go ahead and create this one here, because if you are creating additional courses or what have you, this would be one of the ones that you would want to do. So let's go ahead and do that one real quickly. So to do that, as you may notice in the image, this particular one, I did not really put a filter on here on top because it was already a dark picture to begin with. But I'm going to go ahead and do that on this one here because it's a little bit lighter. So when you're putting a filter on something, that means you're just putting a shade on it. So the way to do that in Canva is to go to Elements, pick just a rectangular or a square, and just click on that, and then that's going to appear on your image. What you want to do is you want to get that entire image to cover that rectangle or that square to cover that entire image. Now, normally what I like to do is I like to go with a medium gray. You can go with whatever color that you want. So I'm going to scroll down and go with the default colors. I'm going to go with a medium gray, either one of these two. And I'm going to go with a little bit darker one. So now we got the gray here. But as you can see, you cannot see the image. So what I have to do is go up to these three dots and then go and choose transparency. Now, this word is actually incorrectly used because this says it's 100% transparent when actually it's 100% opaque. So technically, the word is being used in reverse. What I like to do that I've done in the past is I go and I usually bring it down to about 50 or 60. Now, this one is a little bit of a dark picture. So I'm going to take it down to a 50% or 50 transparent. Now now you've got your filter on there. The next thing is I'm going to go ahead and create a heading. Now, this heading is also going to be the name of the course. So in this case, I'm going to call it Building Business Credit. Obviously, that's going to be too small. I'm going to hit the Control A so I can have everything. I do like the white on the darker background, and then I'm just going to go and choose a larger font size. Let's go with 85 as an example. That is still a little bit small, so let's go with 95. I'm going to say that's still a little bit small. Let's go with 110. So to me, that looks pretty good. I'm going to hit the three dots, and now I'm going to make sure that this is all centered. So I'm going to hit the word position, and it's already centered going left to right. However, as I change the font size, the top to bottom actually is now off center. So I'm going to hit the word middle. So right now, this title is in the exact middle of this image. And I usually like to add my logo to them as well. If you have a logo, go ahead and upload it. Call it logo or give it a name of some sort so that you can find it. Because once you start adding a lot of images, it's going to be hard to find. So make sure that you're naming them properly. I'm going to click on logo, and now I'm just going to shrink that logo down. And I usually put it in one of the four corners. Let's say in this case, I'm going to put it in the upper left-hand corner, make it a little bit bigger. So now I've got my image for my cover for a online course. So I'm going to hit the share button and I'm going to download that one as well. Download, again, it says PDF. It's just change it back to JPEG and hit download. I can move that to the background now. Again, I'm going to go and move it over to a folder on my computer. And in this case, since this is going to an external hard drive, I'm just going to hit cut and paste. And that one I don't need anymore because it's already in the folder. Now let's go ahead and create that other piece. So I'm going to go ahead and hit delete, choose the filter, delete, choose the filter, delete. And what I'm going to need now is, because this image is still the image that's actually the incorrect size. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that image as well. So I was a little premature in moving it over. So Control X, Control V. And now I'm going to upload the image that I just downloaded. And now, in the chat, AJ, give me a color that you want the background to be. So we have this a little bit interactive. While he's doing that, I'm going to go and X out those three downloads. And he said medium blue. Fantastic. So right now I just click on the image, or I click on the background, and you'll see this little rainbow appear in the upper left-hand corner that when I hover over the top, it says background color. So let's go there. It says these are my brand colors. I don't have any other colors. Some of the photo colors are coming up here from the browns and grays, because that's what Canva's pulling off in the photo itself. Well, however, we're going to make it something different. Now I clicked on the plus button, and now I can go and choose anywhere in there. So he said a medium blue. So I'm just scrolling around. That's probably too dark. How's that for you, AJ?
That works.
Okay, so we're going to use that as the color. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shrink this image, this rectangular image, down to a smaller size, to about half this, um, uh, about 1/4 size, a little bit less than 1/4 size of the actual background. And now we're going to be putting in the rest of our information. Now, what I'm going to do here is across the top on the right, I'm going to give the title. I'm just going to just add a heading. And it was called Building Business Credit. That might be a little bit large. So I'm going to hit Control A since I'm inside there and going to shrink this down to, say, 85. Click off of it and then click back on it so I can move it. Now, AJ, would you prefer a black or a white lettering since we're going with this blue? Is it white? Is it white? So now I just hit Control A again, and I can go here where it says A for the text color, and then I can go and choose a white. Now, white usually will appear to the right, but since it did not, I'm going to scroll down to the brand colors or the default colors, and white is one of the colors there. So I'm going to go and make that white. This one the font size may still be a little bit big, so let me go ahead and make that a little bit smaller. I'm going to knock it down to maybe, let's knock it down to 77. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in the time as well. So we were saying that since this is for this show here, we're going to say it's going to be Tuesday, July 18, 2023, 3 o'clock - 5 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock - 2 o'clock Pacific. Now you will notice that whenever you're creating these titles, they are automatically center justified. That's the default alignment. You can leave it as that, or you can change it to being left justified. Excuse me, control everything. You can make it all center justified, left justified. You can make it right justified, however you wanted to do it. So I'm going to actually leave it as being centered. You see that the lines are right there. I'm going to move this to the left, and I'm going to hit Control A so I can get so I can make these white as well. Since the white is part of this whole image here, white now does become one of the document colors, so you can just click on that. And then you want to get the link. Now the link for my shows, they're all going to be the same. If you have a different link yourself, you can go ahead and use that. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back to text, and I'm going to add in the Zoom link. Now you may, and now you may use Zoom. You may use a different program. We'll find out one in just a second. I don't know why it's doing that. So we had an error there because I was posting a link inside the image there, or inside the thing. So I'm going to go back to my recent designs. There it is. Then I am going to go back here again, hit Control C, and then I'm going to actually try to take away some issues that it's having. So I'm going to put this into Notepad, then Control A, Control C again, and see if that works. It did not. Okay. So it's not taking the formatting. It's actually putting the link into that add a subheading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make this thing a little bit smaller because if you're having this issue, and this sometimes does happen in Canva, is that I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to type that in. https://us06web.zoom.us/ space return J space return 437 137 8640. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make that one bigger. I can move this back out again, make that bigger. I'm going to go ahead and make this also 77 size font. and maybe actually just make it a little bit smaller. So make this 65 size font. Hit the delete button so everything's together. And because that's getting kind of close to the edge, I'm going to make it, again, a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it maybe 60 or 55. And put the space return after the .us. And now I'll have it here. To make it look a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control A. I'm going to hit the A and make that one white as well. And then I'm going to go to the three dots and hit the underline. So it makes it look like it's a link. So there you go there. This one might be a little bit bigger in size. Make that a little bit bigger. A little bit smaller. As you can see, this is all just learning how to play around a little bit. So right now, this could be that card as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. And this is the one that's going to be posted on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and those other two platforms as well. I'm going to go ahead and save that JPEG. Hit the download button. Watch for the status bar to go, and now it's down here in the lower left-hand corner. And I'm going to move that to the back of my desktop. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get these two images, hit Control X, hit Control V. Now all my images are now going to be inside this one folder. So now I'm going to go ahead and this is something else that if you guys are not already doing this is going to make your job a lot easier. And something I've been doing since I started getting on Facebook, but this is something I would highly recommend everybody do. Or whenever you want to be doing an event on Facebook, you can actually invite up to 500 people to that event. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you a trick to make your job a whole lot easier. So this is my Facebook account. So this is my Facebook account. So what I can do is I can create an event, as you can see here, and I can start inviting. And once I create the event, I can start inviting people. However, one of the things that you may want to do is you may want to go ahead and pre-select the kinds of people that you maybe want to send these events to. And let's say you have, like myself, you have more than, say, 500 friends on Facebook, or maybe you have more than 500 people in a potential category that you want to invite people to. One of the things that you can do on Facebook with anybody is to actually put them into a list. However, what I'd like for you guys to do is to actually start creating a list that you're going to be sending those people to. So what you want to do is you want to go up here where it says the 9 dots. And I clicked on friends. Over here on the far left-hand side, it says custom list. Now, I've been basically since I got on Facebook years ago, I've been putting people into lists since then. If you have not done this, this is something that you can do right now today. Go over here and click on custom lists. You will see I have a wide range of people on or a wide range of lists going all the way back to, let's say, back when I used to do lease option real estate, or many years earlier, I used to go to this thing called Pub Quiz at McMullen's over there by the Orleans Hotel. So I went and when I was saving somebody as a friend, I actually put them into this list. These are the different events that I went to. So I've had lists for everybody, and I'm sure even AJ's on one of my lists. He's probably on my Las Vegas people's list. But if you don't have lists yet, then what you can do is hit this thing called create list. I'm going to show you an example, and actually by going to Raleigh, I just created this the other day, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this list. That list is now no longer available. So what I'm going to do at this moment is to go to the bottom, go ahead and hit there where it says a create list, and I'm going to call this list Raleigh, North Carolina, because this is where I'm living at the time of this recording. I've been here a little more than a year. Now I can start adding friends. The reason you want to be doing this, again, this is going to be for people that you're going to be wanting to invite. You're going to put them all into this one list. So let's say I'm going to go and start adding people. I know Artemis is in the group. Now, here's one thing about this list here. You will see that when I'm using the scroll button, it can only go down so far. It's not going to go any further down, but you still have a lot of people. I still have over 3,000 people to go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to where Artemis is, click on her, and then I'm going to click on her again. And now I'm going to be using the down arrow. And I'm not doing anything else with my mouse, except that I'm going to hit the left mouse button to actually choose that person. So you see this guy named Mohammed Musa has now just been checked. I'm going to keep using the down right arrow until I see somebody else that I know that's in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I'm going to go just pick one more person, Gene Hedges. So these are all the four people. There's a lot more, but these are the four people that are in Raleigh, North Carolina. And now I can save that list. So those are the four people under the list name of Raleigh, North Carolina, and we'll go more into that in just a moment. Because to me, this is one of the biggest secrets is this right here. Yeah, because otherwise if you're going to start inviting people, you're just randomly picking people. But go ahead and choose the list of people that you're most likely would be inviting, and we'll talk, and we'll go into that in a moment. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back to Meetup because we're going to create our first event on Meetup.com. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back up here where it says Meetup at the top left-hand corner, and I'm going to hit this thing that says Create Event. And on here, this is they're going to start asking all kinds of information. They're going to on Meetup, this is going to say the title required. Now, for you to create a Meetup event that is a paid membership, you have to create your own group. But anyway, just assume that you are doing this, or you may be avoiding this one in itself. But we're going to use this as a starter. So business. What do we call this program? Building business credit. Okay. When is it going to be? Well, we already said it's going to be on Tuesday, July 18th. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the next month, July 18th. And since my meetings are my events are always on Tuesday, I can always verify the date by making sure that it's in that Tuesday column. It's going to be the default says 7 o'clock. I'm going to say it's going to be at 03 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The event is 2 hours in length, so therefore you're not going to be picking an end time. The other four platforms, you will pick an end time. Now it's asking to upload a photo. Now, since this is on Meetup, I'm not going to be adding all that time and dates and stuff like that. So I'm going to just go ahead and say head where it says upload photo. And I'm going to choose the one of the guy on the computer that was just resized. So I'm going to open up that one, and there's the image. And I can scroll down and hit save photo. If you want to add a caption, you can. But now we've got at least the title, the time, and date. Now I'm going to let's say so I'm going to start writing a description, and in order just to save a little bit of time, let's go ahead and go to Chat GPT and have Chat GPT write our description for us. And I'm going to change this later on, but again, this is just for the sake of time. Write a three short paragraph description for a meetup function event called Building Credit. Okay, so we have our description, and you would definitely want to edit this at a later time. But this is all that I'm going to put into the meetup group for the description. I'm going to type in Control V, and most likely, yes, I'm going to take out the word that says paragraph, and then each paragraph I'm going to have a line space. So now we have our description for the event. And this event has a speaker. Yes, that's an upgrade to your meetup, so you don't need to do that. And then when we scroll down, we'll have basically 5 different topics that we're going to be talking about. Now, these are my normal 5 topics, but I'm going to take some of these out. Let's say marketing, I'm going to take out. I'm going to take out business referral marketing. And let's say I'm going to talk about women entrepreneurs and how to build a business credit. So these are the 5 categories that I'm going to choose on Meetup. I'm going to scroll further down. Make this an online event. Yes, I am. Now with Meetup, I can choose this. If I hit this Zoom button and you have a Zoom account, a paid account, then this will create a unique Zoom link for you. Now, this is how I used to do it in the past, but now I use the same event, the same Zoom link each and every time. So therefore, it saves on the confusion. So I hit Control C, and I'll put my own event into the meetup URL. And then I'm the organizer. If I was going to add somebody else, I can do that here. And then I have all my other categories. Now, with my account, my account is limited to 100 people. However, I can always upgrade to a higher one. So I may, if you have an attendee limit, go ahead and put that in there. Let me say I'm going to put 50 in there, so half the people are that my Zoom account can come from this location. Allow guests. I usually say yes to that one as well. They can have them come up with one additional guest. And then RSVP starting and the end time. Yes, go ahead and do that. So they can start RSVPing for the moment that I post it until the beginning of the meeting. If you want to start doing fundraising, you can. And if you're going to charge a fee, you can. All of my events are free. So now I'm going to say that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to go and hit the publish button. So now the event has been created. I'm going to go ahead and announce it now so that everybody that's came to a previous meetup, we can they will be told about it, and then we're all set and we're done. Now the next thing that we can do is that I can go ahead and send this over to Facebook and create a Facebook event. So let's go ahead and do that. So right now I'm going to go back to my Facebook account. I'm going to go back to the homepage and we're going to go here where it says events. Now I can go here and click on create new event. After I hit the create new event, it's asking to add a cover photo. So I'm going to go ahead and say upload the cover photo. And since this is going to be an event, I tend to use the one that has the link inside the image. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that one, hit open. And now we have our cover image. Even though it looks like it won't fit, we'll see the entire thing. We go to where it says event name, and what I prefer to do is just to go back to with the very first place that I created the event, is just start copying things over. So Control C, Control V. Start date, again, this is going to be on July 18th, starting at 3 o'clock. And then in this particular case, I am going to put in an add end time. And I'm going to go ahead and change that 6 to a 5 and click on the 5. Is it virtual or in person? In this case, we're going to say it's virtual. And then are we going to be in a messenger room? Is it going to be a Facebook Live, external link, or other? Now remember, we're having 5 events going to the same location. So you want to actually put the Zoom link in this external link. You do not want to do Facebook Live because your meetup people won't be able to attend. So always use this external link. I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet, get my Zoom link, Control C, and put in the external link. Who can see it? Now, this is up to you. Do you want to make it private? Do you want to make it public? Do you want only friends only or group, a particular group you belong to? I tend to make it public so anybody can attend. What are the details? Go back to the first place that you created your event and you copy all the details. I'm just using the up arrow. Control C, go back to Facebook, Control V. Add co-host. Is this a repeating event or not? And now create the event. Now, this is probably the most critical thing is if you're doing this on Facebook, once the event is created, you're going to have to do a few extra steps, a few extra things. So now I'm going to start inviting these people. But remember, we just created a list called Raleigh, North Carolina. So I could go over. Let me see. I could go to Raleigh, North Carolina, and choose all those 4 people. However, in the past, I've actually already had and went and done this. Is I'm going to choose another category where it's called Entrepreneurs Business. So right now, I can send out 500 invites. So right now, I can just start clicking on these people. And normally, maybe as you can see, the scroll bar is going to get longer and longer. Now, I'm just arbitrarily picking these people because I've already put them into the folder, into the list as potential people for attending my events. So I'm going to go ahead and you'll see the countdown is 484 left. I'm going to keep it scrolling down. And I'm going to stop at 450. So I'm going to go ahead and invite 50 real people to this July 18th event. I've got 22 more to go. So you see, this is a lot easier than just randomly trying to pick people. And then in the future, whenever you create future events, you can still do the exact same thing over and over again. So this makes it 10 times easier, or even 100 times easier. I'm going to send. There we go. So I've got 50 people here because I got 450 invites left. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. Actually, scroll to the bottom with the big scroll bar and send the invites. So I just now sent 50 invites to people. Now, do we have any questions? Because I know AJ has to go. I wanted to make sure that I covered this because this may be something you may not have known about.
Everything looks good.
Now, did you know about the list, creating a list and inviting people from a list?
I have.
Okay, good.
My
So,
curiosity is if you hit shift and then from the top all the way to the bottom, will it actually highlight more than one?
um,
Just so you don't
I
keep
would
myself
have to
confused.
find out. Because at this point, if you scroll down, you're going to say share in a group and start a discussion. So you want to do
Yeah.
this as well. So you're getting as much exposure as possible. Now I have my own meetup group, and this is going to be saying something like, okay, go back to Chat GPT, do a new chat, write a 2-sentence description or
Let me know about that if you can.
okay.
I apologize. I have to
If you can, I would hope that
squeeze.
if that's true, then that'll be a lot easier than single clicking everybody.
It
You
would.
just it'll save you a good 10, 15 minutes.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us. So I'm just going to ask you to write a brief description. And there we go. So this is what I'm going to put into my feed on this on this invite in my group. So post it. And then you can start a discussion as well. Now, I could write a descript or this who is in need of building business credit. I have a meeting coming in a few days to discuss this. So then scroll up, do that correction. And then I can go ahead and post on. That's going to go onto my Facebook page. So now I'm doing as much promotion as I possibly can. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create this event also on LinkedIn. So we are now on 2 platforms. We're on Meetup and we're also on Facebook. Now let's go to LinkedIn. Now on LinkedIn, you have to have a business account in order to create an event, and the business account is free. You all do is to promote your business onto LinkedIn, and then go to your business page, scroll down just a little bit, and now you can create an event. It's right under the share page. Here's the plus for the events. And it's now asking for a cover image. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to choose that same light blue background one that has all the contact information as well as the Zoom link. Click on that. So we have it on there. It's now going to ask me to apply. It's going to call it asking for the event name. I'm going to go back to the meetup.com. Building business credit. So all 5 platforms are going to have the same name. Control V. Scroll down. Time zone. I'm picking my time zone. When is the start date? But again, this is going to be July 18th. It's asking what is the start time. I'm going to highlight the 6, change that to a 3. And then the end time, it's going to highlight that 7 and change it to a 5. So this is now a 2-hour event. I definitely want to show the end time. Add the external event link. So I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet, get the Zoom link, go back and put that in there. Description. What is the description? Go back to the meetup again. So you're seeing I'm just copying and pasting all this stuff over. I don't have to go and recreate all of this. So let's go back to meetup and get that information. Of course, if you're starting off, like say with LinkedIn or Facebook, then you can just use that information there. Control C. Oops, I went too far. So make sure I'm only getting the event content. Control C. Go back to LinkedIn, description, Control V. And now we have our description. Scroll down a little bit more. The first time you do this, your name may not show up, but after you've done this once, then your name should show up as being the first one. So the speakers is going to be me, and then hit the next button. So what do you want to talk about? So this is what it's asking for that like the little 2 sentences that we just did on Facebook. So let's hit Control C from the Chat GPT, Control V. And if I want to throw in some emojis, or excuse me, hashtags, I can. Hit the word post, and now it's going to be going out on LinkedIn. Now I can start inviting people here as well, and on LinkedIn, I do not believe you can just you cannot create a list on here. So this one you will have to be a little bit more specific as to who you're going to be inviting. And let me go ahead and choose like 10 or 12 people, Joe's Burrows. And you can also search by name if you know people up there. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get 10 people. And to my understanding, you cannot just choose all. 9. And say I'm going to choose those 10 people. Scroll down to the bottom, hit the invite. In this case, invite 10. And now this event is being posted, and you've also shared it with other people. So you've got your event going on here. So we're going to go to the last 2 platforms and create your event on those platforms as well. So let's go ahead and go to Eventbrite. That's eventbrite.com. And you will need to create an account, and creating an account is free. You can also log in through your Google account. Okay, so it says my account is connected with Google and Facebook. Okay, so we got my account up here in the top and middle. You can see where it says create an event. We're going to go ahead and do this one as well. Now, Eventbrite is a little bit more complex than the other platforms. It's because there's going to be like 5 pages that we're going to be going through. So let's go ahead and go through this somewhat slowly. It's now asking for the event title. Well, we've already put that in 3 times, and I've got this information here. So let's go ahead and get the description first, so we won't have to keep highlighting everything. I'm going to scroll down to where it says the event description. It doesn't have it yet. It's on the next page. So I guess we can't do that. So anyway, let's go back to the event title. Go back, in this case, go back to Meetup. Building business credit. Event title, Control V. Optimal Performance Academy is the name that I have it associated with my account. Now, the profile describes a unique organizer that shows all the events on one page. Now, what kind of event is this? So my defaults are going to be these. So in my case, I can hit a class, training, or workshop from the drop-down menu, or I can hit the seminar or talk. So right now, since this is more of a interactive event, this is going to call this a class, training, or workshop. The second column will now appear. It was, in this case, for me, it's business professional, but you pick from this drop-down menu which one actually fits you. And in this case, it's saying finance. I typically, because it's pulling the word finance probably out of the title of the event. I'm actually going to go back to the very bottom. It says startups and small business. It's not going to ask me for tags. And these tags come from the information that I put in so far already. Building business credit, finance, loan. I'm going to actually take these all 5 of these off. Now on Eventbrite, you will notice that you can have up to 10 tags. Now I tend to use the ones like small business owners. So you'll see like this right here, small underscore business. There's 2,669 events going on right now under this category. So that to me shows that is a very powerful one to use. So I'm gonna hit small business again. There's 1780. So I'm gonna click on that one. It's also showing me that we have a small business networking. I would say not to choose that one in my case, is because this is not networking, this is education. So small business workshop, I can probably pick that one. Small business owner, I will pick that one. And now let's go ahead and choose 6 more because it's just like that. It's entrepreneur and entrepreneurship workshop, entrepreneurs, and that's 8 out of 10 so far. I'm going to scroll down so I can start seeing a few more that is suggesting. I'm going to maybe say women-owned business and women entrepreneur. So those are my 10 tags that I've created on Eventbrite so far. Now it's asking for the location. In this case, this is going to say an online event. Now, this can be, if you have a regularly occurring workshop, you would choose the recurring event. In my case, I'm going to just say the single event. It's asking for the start time. Now, Eventbrite tends to go about 2 months out. So there, instead of being in June like we've seen in the other ones, this one goes further out. So I'm going to actually have to backtrack on that one. I'm going to have to scroll down so I can get to the 18th. Go back to July and choose the 18th. Start time is going to be 3 p.m. The end date is the same day, and the end time that says 6 o'clock. I'm going to choose 5 o'clock. There's 5 o'clock. Display the start time, display the end time. That's fine. That's my time zone. Yes, it's going to be in English. So that's page 1 has been done. So let's go to page 2 of this event. Page 2, this is where now we're going to be uploading the image. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit and click on the button that says upload image. Again, I'm going to choose the one with the blue background. We chose this one so that the Zoom link can appear on there on the image. As you can see, it does fit in there. So it's a little tight on the top, a little tight on the bottom, mainly on the top. So we're going to go and choose that one's okay. And then it's asking for a URL. Now, the URL that you see here, this is a promo video. If you decided to, hey, create a promotional video, this is where you'll put your YouTube or Vimeo link. If you don't have a promo video, then you can just leave that one alone. So right now, I'm going to just leave it alone. Now it says the summary. So the description is below. So right here, this is going to be 140 characters. That's only going to be like maybe a sentence long. Learn the basics in building business credit. I misspelled building. to enhance your ability to borrow and grow your small business. So right now I have 109 characters out of 140, so I'm going to just leave that one alone. And now I'm going to go to the bottom here where it says description. The description is the same thing that we did before on Meetup. And since there is a lot of text there, I'm going to make sure I just go and get it all. Hit Control C for copy. Control V for the description. And we have the spacing in between. Sometimes those spaces will not appear, so you may have to go there and manually update that. And then if you want to have any additional things on here, you can. And then you can add agenda or FAQs. So let's go ahead and click Save and Continue. You'll notice on the left-hand side, we're on page 2. We're about to go to the page 3 and then page 4. So let's go ahead and go on to page 3. Now, add an event page. Now, again, you could hit this Add Zoom button. And if your Zoom account is linked to Eventbrite, it will, just like Meetup, will create a unique link. Since I do not want them only coming from Eventbrite, because the links are going to be different, I'm going to go ahead and click on this. It says Link Another Provider. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my my Zoom link, hit Control C. Add that in, title, building, business, credit. So now I'm giving it the same title as the event itself. Now, if you want to do a preview a video, you can. You don't have to. So it does say that it's optional. And as well as a description. If you're okay with that for the details, we're now going to go on to the next page. Now we're on the tickets page. Now, once you create a ticket, like say for a certain admission or a certain cost, you can always do this copy tickets, but let's just go ahead and create a brand new ticket. Now, again, this is going to be a free event. Okay, so this is going to be paid. I'm going to make this as a free or as a donation. You can call it whatever you want, as far as the name. Let's call it, instead of saying, let's give it something unique. Call them the available quantity. I usually put 50 on here as well, just like I did on Meetup. And then it's free. The sales start today and it ends on July 18th. So this is going to end on the actual at the beginning of the event. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the save button here because right now we're on page 4 of the Eventbrite event creation. And now I can hit the next button. So as you can see, you could have multiple kinds of tickets. You could have VIP, you could have a general admission, you can have multiple different kinds of tickets. Hit the next button. And this is kind of what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and say preview your event. And I'm going to scroll down, building business credit. You can see there. I got the start time. Here's the access link. This is where they will click to actually access the event. Then there's your description. Those are the tags. And then people can start following you or not. So I'm going to go and X out of that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit the publish button. So right now, everybody on Eventbrite is not going to be able to see this event. So right now we're in 4 locations. We're on Meetup, LinkedIn, Facebook, Eventbrite, and the last one that we're going to cover is this one that's called allevents.in. Again, this is you can create a free account here. You can see a lot of people post all different kinds of events. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and just head here and do create a new event. Now I do have searchable by myself, which I have 51 followers, and then my company has 17 followers. So I'm going to post it under myself, and I'm going to hit this where it says create event. I'm going to scroll down. It's going to start off by asking the event name and then the event description. If my description is still in my copy queue, I'm going to add it here. Nope, it is not. So let's go back to the meetup, and I'm going to go and copy the description. Remember, I've not done the title yet because I'm just getting a little ahead of myself. I Control V, and notice on this one, the spaces in between the paragraphs did not show up properly. So I'm just scrolling down, and I want to find the other paragraph. It looks like it probably ends right there. So there we go. We have our 3 paragraphs. Let's scroll back up so I can put in the name. Go back to Meetup to get the name. Control C. Control V. Start time. So we got to, we still got to pick the start time. So we have to go back to July 18th. It's going to begin at, you can just use these cursors there, 3 p.m. Add an end time. And then I'm going to, because it's giving us the warning that that we cannot have an event that ends before it begins. So let's go ahead and say 5 p.m. Click on that. Now we've got the green check bar. Where will your event take place? In this case, we're going to say this is going to be a venue online. We're going to choose online in this case. And I'm going to scroll down. We already got the description. 51 people will be notified. So let's go ahead and go on to step 2. And I'm going to scroll down. Don't worry about this view events up here because we have not fully created everything yet. So we will re-see some of that information. We can see our time zone. We have that it's going to be online. And now we're going to do more details. So what is the event type? Now, remember we had the seminar or talk on the other platform as being one of the possibilities. Let's go and look at some of the other choices. Here's class, training, or workshop. So let's go ahead and choose that. And then the event category. Now, on the event category, you can choose up to 3 different categories. So I'm going to go and choose business because that's what we're working with. And then other ones I tend to do are called workshops and maybe a webinar. And those are the 3 categories. If you see I've tried to put in a 4th one, it's just not, you can only select 3, so you cannot put in a 4th category. Edit pages, upload the banner. And again, we're going to go and upload this banner. Again, we're going to choose this one with the blue background. And that's going to ask me to crop. So usually I'm okay with it. So I just hit the yellow done button at the top right. And then it's going to ask me to do this little square image. So either you can go back to Canva and create a square one, or you can crop it from the original banner. And I usually choose the crop one. And typically, either I'll have that one there without a title. I will have that one there with the title. Or if I go back to Canva and I move the link over here to the left and the time over to the right, I can use that one as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and choose this one here because it is a square. And now we're going to scroll down and we're going to be doing the tickets on this one. Again, it could be paid, free, or donation. I'm going to click on free. And as you see, it's going to start creating the ticket. Again, we can call it whatever we want. The number of tickets for sale, the default is 100. The ticket price, since it's free, that's going to be 0. And any additional instruction, we don't have to worry about that. So everything's already pre-filled out. And just hit the save button. Now you obviously you can create different kinds of tickets again, just like on Eventbrite. Here you can do your VIP, your general admission. You can have different kinds of tickets. And then go ahead and hit the finish button. Now we're going to go down, and once I publish the event, all 51 people that have subscribed to me will be notified. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the publish event. Now I can share this event on different platforms. These are already been created on different platforms, so I'm not going to have to worry about that one. And that's pretty much it as far as creating this on Eventbrite. So now, as you can see in real time, we've actually created an event for July 18th from 3 to 5 o'clock. This is going to be our Tuesday training, and it's now been posted on all 5 platforms. Essentially, now you're on those 5 different platforms. You will get emails for the Eventbrite. You will get an email for allevents.in to notify you that they have been published. And then in the future, what's going to happen is I'm going to go back to my email, and I use Microsoft Outlook, is I have separate folders when people say, hey, I'm going to come in. So this is the all events and people saying that I'm going to be at the event. So this one came out on June 23rd, which is the day of this recording, or 4 days ago, actually. And you'll see that it will get, there's in this case, Andrea Pekka from this telephone number and zip code or address, or excuse me, email has registered for the event. So you will get these notifications as well. Eventbrite is the exact same way that you get these notifications as well. This one is actually just talking about that the event was actually published. So that's all that I have for right now. Thank you for attending this meeting. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time.